right, welcome back to the Knives Fast channel, guys. Two WinterBlade knives. You could call this two crazy cool wizard-made pocket knives, or you could just call it Simple Guy Knives Fast. KC tries to explain really complicated knives from Brian Winters, the wizard of pocket knives. These are dropping on October 23rd at WinterBlade Co. This is the WinterBlade M-Fire, okay? This is one we're looking at, and this is the Veyron from WinterBlade. Now we have two really cool with two really crazy deployment / locking systems, and we're gonna roll through these. And guys, I gotta be honest, I'm gonna do these one at a time. Let's see. Oh, come on, you got it. You gotta do this, KC. There we go. Okay. We'll show you what that is all about in a moment. But we're going to do these one at a time. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to read Brian's descriptions of these two knives so you guys get it from the genius. Now, these are dropping on the 23rd, and I'm not sure, does he list the time here? He doesn't. So I will try to leave this in the description if I get a time from him, but I don't see that listed. All right, we're going to do these one at a time. This is the M-Fire. The M-Fire is a awesome looking knife. You have titanium with milling on the one side. You have carbon fiber on the other side, and that's pretty much, if I remember correctly, what all of these are made up of. It has the M-Fire system, and what it is it is magnet driven. Two opposing neodymium magnets assist in opening the blade and double as a strong magnetic detent to keep the blade securely closed. Although it operates similar to an automatic, the M-Fire has a bias toward closure, a detent. It is therefore classified as a non-automatic pocket knife under U.S. federal law. That is crazy because he has made these to where they will be widely available. If you're not in the, it can also be converted to a manual just by taking out the two internal magnets. Okay, so, all right. See, I'm still figuring that out. I'm getting it pretty good, but let's go over this one and what is actually happening. Of course, you have a DLC coated, man, I didn't do a very good job wiping these off, but DLC coated Wharncliffe blade with a full flat grind. You have a hole here. You can use that for deployment if you would like, or you can just pull this button. Now, what happens when you're doing that? Okay, so there is a neodymium magnet here, and let me see if I can show you the other one. It is right there. So there are two magnets, and what is happening is when I'm trying to close this knife, those two magnets are pushing on each other, this magnet and this magnet, okay? When I close it, now they are opposing each other again on the other side, and it is forcing it to stay closed, which gives it a detent feel. What happens when you pull this button is, I'm going to try to hold this out, is well, it's not going to work to do what I'm trying to do, but you pull this and it moves the blade 1/4 inch. When it does that, now that first magnet on the blade is on the other side of the second magnet, this one, and it just is pushing it out, okay? So that's how you get your deployment. See, you got that point right there. You're just pulling this down. It pushes the blade out, and the magnet fires it the rest of the way. Now, I will tell you, if you're holding this down, it is going to bounce back unless you get the timing just right, which you can't, okay? What I do to deploy it is I hold it like this and let go, and then it's not going to ever bounce back, okay? Now, closing is a little more interesting. Now, you can do it one-handed just like that, okay? See what I just did? I can do it one-handed just like that, or I can do it two-handed, okay? But there is a way, and Brian is absolutely incredible at this. He sent me a video of closing it, and what I've learned is I just push that button just enough, okay? I don't want to push it all the way down, and then I flick my wrist like this and let go at the right time, okay? And if I can do it, you can do it. And as a matter of fact, you will do it every time. You'll see me mess up multiple times during this video. This titanium is awesome. You do have a captive pivot. These two knives, the reason I've separated these, we will do a separate video on why am I WinterBlade Factor? Okay, the Factor 8, and this one is done by Best Tech. So I'm doing this separate, on a separate video, doing the two Kunwu knives together, okay? You have nice chamfers on the carbon fiber. You have a great clip. It is, I am not positive, but I think the clip is reversible. We'll see in the description here in a minute. And the blade is in Vanex. How cool is that? So again, deployment like that, once we're locked, no side to side, no up and down. I had to make sure. We are locked up really well. And again, let's try this one more time. Hey, I'm getting pretty good at it. The blade is really nicely done. Man, I got a crappy piece of cardboard, but look at that. I mean, this blade, guys, I've heard people say they don't really like Wharncliffe's when I've shown his knives. These blades are stupid thin. They are fantastic. And again, you've got a utility tip, and it is just absolutely amazingly done. I am loving this knife. Now, these are going to be available on the 23rd. And we will go over, let's just do the specs really quick on this one. By the way, this particular one, and I think they're all this price, is $380. And we have, oh, come on, where is the specs? The blade is heat treated to 60 to 61. The overall blade length is 2.75. The overall edge length is 2.75. You can see here you do have a sharpening choil with a nice plunge there. 4.2 ounces overall. Handle length of 4.25. Weight is 4.2. And overall length is 7 inches. So that means it's quite obviously going to be smaller than the Rat 1. And it's going to be about the same size as the Rat 2, okay? All right, so we will get these both in here together, but I'm going to put, let's see, here we go. Yeah, baby. That's 3 times in the same video. I might stop now so I don't mess it up. All right, so next is the Veyron. Now, guys, I'm going to read Brian's description because I'm stupid, okay? So Brian said now they had the stealth lock on a previous model that now is escaping me, daggone it, which was basically their version of an axis or a bar lock, okay? This guy has something called the J-Lock, which is a variant of the Stealth Lock. The J-Lock runs on ultra smooth extension springs and can be actuated like a bar lock, okay, or like a spine lock. So you've got the spine lock. And he basically says here that means you can use it sort of like a Benchmade bug out, like this, or you can use it like a Civivi Vision FE, whichever one you prefer. So I think it's really cool that you can do that. We do have a hole for deployment. It flies right out on that hole, either with your thumb. Now, there's not a lot of feeling of detent on this one. It's kind of soft, but it's so smooth on the bearings. By the way, that one's on bearings as well. It's so smooth on the bearings, it doesn't really matter. It's coming out, okay? And I say that because you can also do that, okay? So it's not got a lot of pressure like a detent would because you're relying on a spring. You guys know that's not entirely my favorite. Again, the spine lock is, you gotta actually hold it long enough though, is really cool indeed. Now, let's go ahead and hit the specs real quick and then we'll talk some more about lockup and all that good stuff. It is a captive pivot. It is Kunwu. All right, specs, 3.25 inches on the blade. The blade edge length is 3.25 because you do have sort of a choil here. We'll talk about that. Weight 5.1 ounces in G10, 6.1 in full titanium. Not your mama's pocket knife, or as my thumbnail said, not your grandpa's pocket knife. Nice, Brian. 4.75 inch handle, 8 inches overall. So again, let's bring our friends back out here. By the way, this is going to be a little longer video than usual for me. And that's okay. We can do that sometimes. We are smaller than the Rat 1, and we are bigger than the Rat 2. And then if I put the M-Fire out here, M-Fire is going to be about an inch smaller, okay? So really, really cool. All right, we got to do it again. Ha! That's 4 times in one video. Brian, are you proud of me? So the Veyron in the G10 is going to run $250. The Veyron in the titanium runs $330. And that's just what these prices are for the engineering going into them, for the manufacturer. Again, remember, he is paying an OEM in all these cases, so you got to have room. I talk about that all the time. Now, I prefer to choke up on the flat spot. It's not a whole lot of room there to get in this part. I did have people comment on this dip in the blade right here that they don't prefer that, but that's how you get to that lock, okay? But for me, back here, I'm landing there and choked up, I'm landing up here. So it doesn't really affect me, but I hear you guys. Now, you have these little dips here, and you can see the liners through, which is really cool. You do not really have milling for weight reduction. You do have, again, a tie pocket clip, goes in and out of the pocket, great. It is reversible clearly on this one. And when we are locked up, no side to side, no up and down. And let's find a new piece of cardboard here. So we're not cutting that same lame one. But I used this yesterday to break down probably this exact piece of cardboard and a bunch more. I'm telling you, people think of Brian's designs, and I do too, as wizardry and crazy fun stuff, fidgety. But I'm telling you, if you want to work, both of these knives are incredibly slicey. I mean, just, I'm going through a whole piece of freaking cardboard here because I'm just enjoying it. Well, okay, so I gave this one a workout yesterday, so it probably needs to be, no, it doesn't. It does not. Jeez. But touching it up with the stropping would probably be a great idea. But, I mean, guys, so much fun. And again, you've got that tip. It is straight. It does look like there's a recurve. There is definitely not. It is a straight edge. Really, really cool. And again, just a good looking. Now, this one is in 20 CV, whereas the other one is in Vanex. So you got some really cool steel choices here. For sure. Brian loves that stuff, and he's doing great. You do have 2 standoffs. You're all the way out to the end, and you are centered. And by the way, I forgot. Uh-oh, do we do it again? Ha! All right. We are way out to the back spacer, and we are dead centered. So, again, just really well-made knives, and there are different options of these. Guys, I will list the link down below, and I will try to have that time. But just running through it on, well, those are factors, Casey. On the M-Fire, we have this one, okay? And then we have one with silver titanium, black DLC, and carbon fiber on the other side. We have blue titanium, and we have the natural titanium with a stonewash blade. And then on the Veyron, we have black titanium with a stonewash blade. We have natural titanium with a stonewash blade. We have a Stormtrooper white G10. And now the website does not want to load any further. It's just, oh, great. I've lost connection to the internet. That's always awesome. So I was going to give you the full list, but this orange G10 is obviously available. And as I told you, it's $250. So that is super, super cool for sure. Well, I cannot connect back to the internet. I am sorry, guys. But there we go. Of course, you're going to load right when I'm about to wrap up the video. But these are amazing. I am very thankful for Brian sending these. So again, the white G10, the orange G10, green G10 are your choices on this one. So just really, really cool indeed. Again, ergonomically, they're good. They're flat scales on both with big chamfers, which means they feel great in the hand, and the pocket clips are not a problem. Just really cool knives. So, guys, here's all the cardboard I destroyed. These are definitely great knives. Thank you, Brian, for sending them. Thanks, you guys, for checking it out. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and, of course, stick around on the Knives Fast channel. And thank you for watching the Knives Fast channel.